I don't really know the point of this video. Well, I'm lying. I do know the point of this video. I just want to like speak some stuff that's on my mind and share a story with you guys. So I probably mentioned this before in my past videos that, I feel lost in my 20s. And if I haven't mentioned it, then there you go. I feel very lost in my 20s. As a kid growing up, I think I had a bit more of a mature mindset. The way how I viewed the world, the way how I viewed things. As I was younger, I always viewed the world as, as realistic as I possibly could. I always knew you needed money. I always knew you needed to find love and or build relationships with people to, have somewhat of a decent life going for yourself. I knew the importance of certain things at a very young age. So around 13, 14, 15, 16, so on, I never really focused as much on things that someone that age should focus on. And normally, whenever something goes wrong for me at that age, I typically could always find the answer myself. And that's due to the mature mindset that I had as a teenager. I thought like a 20-year-old, or maybe I thought like a 30-year-old. I don't know. And if you hear the background noise, I'm sorry. People are just building and doing some construction or whatever. I'm sorry if you hear it, but hopefully it drowns out. And back then, the benefit was so huge. I was able to work myself through my own problems by, talking with myself and reasoning with myself. I didn't really talk to many people. I did stuff like this, sometimes even without the camera. Yes, I'm a bit weird, I know. And yeah, oftentimes people somewhat consider me a bit wiser than, my peers, because we could always sit and have these conversations and figure stuff out together. I didn't have all the answers, but it was a bit easier for me to figure it out. Now, in my 20s, I feel like my mindset or my age has finally caught up to my mindset. So now when I'm going through these things that I'm going through, I don't know the answer, right? I don't know what to do. Now life is just teaching me even more so than that it was teaching me back in the past. And you can't help but feel lost, I think. I think it's a normal thing to feel lost in your 20s, bro. Like, take it from somebody who does. I'm not making this video to give you any answer at all. I'm just making this video for myself personally because I treat this channel like a diary. And at the same time, for anybody who's looking to relate to somebody, I think it's normal for you to feel lost in your 20s because now more than ever, this is where you're learning shit that you never were learning before. Like, life is truly teaching us how this thing goes. Like, everybody's story is written a bit differently, but I feel like most people have something that they can always relate back to. And I feel like that one thing is that life is very humbling. Like, you could be on top of the world right now, and in the next few seconds, you're down, you're crushed. And that's not because of something someone else did to you or, specific anything. Nothing specifically was targeting you. It's just, that's how life works. That's how things might go for you. I started to think like this today and a few months prior to, because of the things that I've been through. I'm gonna give you guys a story time. Last year around this time of year, I had a friend who was leaving the country. He was originally back in the country. I live in Jamaica. He was originally back in the country after his current visa expired. He was in America, so his visa expired. He came back home, spent 3 years down here. Terrible time for him, but hey, it is what it is. And he was finally leaving again. And when he was leaving, I felt some sort of way about it because I too have been put in a process to be leaving Jamaica as well at the time. And to know that he was able to go, come back, and then leave again, and I'm still here. I've been trying to leave since I was maybe, I don't know, 9 or maybe 13. I don't know. I've been trying to leave for a very long time. And it bothered me. My life was never at the place that it should be. When I left high school, the reality crushed me so much that I am not the guy that I thought that I was. Again, sorry for the background noise. People are just building stuff, sawing, and doing what they're doing. I am not the guy that I thought that I was. I am not as capable as I thought that I was. And life is not as easy as I thought that it was, right? You have to make money. You have to pay bills. If you want to go outside, it costs money. If you want to talk to a significant other, the opposite sex, whoever the heck you want to talk to, it costs money, because if you want to go out on dates, it costs. If you want to go visit that person, it costs. If you want to buy food to eat, it costs. So all those things of life just came upon me, and I didn't really have any sort of guidance to navigate it. So I'm still trying to figure it out on my own, but that's besides the point. I digressed. When he was leaving, I felt a way because I am still here. I was still here. I am still here. Yeah, I'm still here. And it made me go into this spiral where I was just looking into myself and looking into my life and wondering why things are not working the way that they were working. And funny enough, after he left around this time of year last year, about 4 months later, I finally received a contact from the United States Embassy down here in Jamaica. And I'm not going to give you guys the full complications of everything, but just know that for me to leave this country, at the time, I had to be on my mother's documentations. And due to some complications, we never got to go where we needed to go. We never got to go where we needed to go. And it's super, super simple. It's some super, 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 super simple complications. Like, you guys can probably hear the strain in my voice that something so small and insignificant was the reason I wasn't able to leave Jamaica and go to a better life or a better opportunity in America. But, it is what it is. And for somebody who was always aspiring to do something like that ever since I was a child, to have being told no where I shouldn't have been told no was one of the most crushing things I've ever experienced in my entire life. I thought that I was green. That was a good ticket for me to just go where I have to go and do what I gotta do, and nobody could stop me. We did everything that we had to do, everything that we had to pay for, we did it. And then right there, right at the doorstep, right in the embassy, bro was like, no. This thing is the reason why, no. You know what I'm saying? And that was just that. You know what I'm saying? And if you watch prior videos to this one, then you'll probably know about me breaking my wrist. If you even see any videos after this one with me having a black wrapped cast on, right after the embassy incident, I felt so broken and destroyed that nothing felt worth doing anymore. I went to play basketball a few days later. I sprained my ankle, one of the worst ankle sprains I've ever experienced in my life. I couldn't walk properly for like weeks, and that never happened to me before. Ankle sprains that I normally receive are like minor, maybe a couple days, but I couldn't walk properly for weeks, maybe even months. I still sometimes can't even move my left leg the way how I like it to be moved due to that ankle sprain. Then a few days after the ankle sprain, I was playing basketball again, and I fell and broke my wrist. So in the span of less than a week, I got denied the embassy, sprained my ankle, and broke a part of my body for the first time. And before I went to the embassy, I was somewhat having the greatest time of my life. I was, getting some money, and I was told I was about to leave this country because, this place kind of sucks. I was just being truthful to you. I was somewhat involved romantically with somebody, right? And I was having a time of my life, getting to know this chick and spend some time with her before I leave. And everything was just going great all the way leading up to that fateful day where I went to the United States Embassy and they told me no. Me and my mom and my sister, of course, because there were three of us, and they told us no. So that was my reckoning. That was my fateful day of realizing that today you can be up and tomorrow you can be down, and nobody really pushed that agenda, that priority to me. That's something I had to learn on my own. So now with everything going the way that it went, I felt lost. I didn't know what to do anymore. I had all my chips riding, all my money bet on black, and it fell on red, if that's how the term goes. I don't know. But I didn't know what to do anymore. I was just lost, bro. I was, still doing my YouTube thing. I was still making art videos, still drawing, still saying to myself, like, yeah, when I leave this place, I'm going to be doing more of this. I'm going to build this thing bigger and greater and stronger. I was heavily relying on winning, and I never did. And that's just life. You know what I'm saying? That's just life. And that's how it goes. You can never predict when things are just going to go wrong for you. It just happens, bro. Honest to God, it just happens. And that experience in itself is something that you will have to come to terms with in your 20s. I've been rejected numerous times from things that should have been green for me. I was trying to join the local police force, and I spent an entire year and then some trying to get into the police force, completed every single thing, was told that I might have an issue, but at the same time, that issue that they told me that I might have had, they were like, it's completely fine though. It's something super minor. We don't care about it. You can go through. And on the last day of me dropping off my documents, another lady came to me and said, well, this issue, we can't let you through with this issue. And I'm like, yo, why didn't y'all just say that to me 3 months ago when you told me that I could have gotten through this issue? Why wait until the final day of me doing everything to tell me this? Right? And I was green. I was supposed to be green for that, but I wasn't. I tried to get jobs. I missed out on a very good job that I could have received due to the fact that I was late to sign the contract. Like, I was late to sign a contract that I asked very kindly if they could have sent to me virtually due to the fact of it being the modern day. And, you know, people do virtual contracts. But the woman was insistent on the fact that I need to come sign it physically. And I was like, okay, I'll come. Didn't end up making it on time. I was an hour late, you know, traffic, whatever. And yeah, I got turned down from the job. Crazy. Something that I was told I was going to get to do as long as I signed the contract on that day. I never got it. And I had to just move on. I had to just live with that. You know what I'm saying? Those are things nobody could have prepared me for. And each time things go wrong, I just have to live with it. I had to figure something out, do something else again, and just navigate through this lost place that I'm in, this humongous ocean that has no land for miles. I just gotta be here swimming and just going. I couldn't do anything. I don't know what to do. And now, in the modern day, after having that embassy fumble, I'm just trying to get myself on track despite the fact that, you know, I shouldn't have been off track, but I'm still trying to get myself back on track, if that makes sense. So now I've applied for college. I'm praying to God. Like, I've been turned down so many times for literally nothing. I can't speak with confidence if I will even get into this school. They emailed me and told me for sure that, yeah, you're green. You know, we have a safe space for you. Just, you know, we'll talk to you again sometime in June, July. Just, you know, come true and we'll talk. But you can't blame me for being a bit pessimistic, bro. You can't blame me for being a bit pessimistic. I never wanted to go to college because I didn't have any money. I didn't want to owe nobody any money, but I don't really think I have much of a choice now. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully I get in. And I also have been applying for jobs over the past couple of months since I got my cast removed, which was like since February. I've been applying for jobs, doing things, and been to a couple interviews. Been told no for stupid reasons. Wasted my time going outside, traveling, money that I don't have, I've spent, and I've done all these things and still haven't received an answer for anything. Nothing has given me any sort of fulfillment. And I've just come down to believing that this is just what it's like to be 20 years old and trying to start something for yourself and, you know, having been received nothing. You haven't gotten anything. You didn't get any help from anybody. Like, sure, I have people who support me as best as they possibly can. My father from time to time, you know, supports me financially. Sometimes my drawing thing makes a little sense and gives me a little change in my pocket. And every now and then I can ask my siblings or my mother for a little change to carry myself through. But nothing else has been given to me apart from that. No, nothing, literally nothing. And that's just how it is. That's what happens when you have nothing. And sometimes you might have something and you're still lost, right? Because even when I finally started to receive things, like when I was pushing for monetization on my art YouTube channel, when I finally got monetization on that art YouTube channel, I felt lost. I felt lost because after I finally got the monetization and I finally got what I thought that I wanted, I realized that it wasn't worth what I thought it was worth. Right? For you to make money on a YouTube video, you need a lot of views. You know, a lot of attention. And it wasn't as simple to do as I thought it was. And it made me feel lost. Plus, everything else that is going on in my life, everything else that is piled up in my life, is just not helping. So this video is not exactly to give you any answer. I guess the answer is this is just natural. This is just something that we gotta go through, most of us at least. And I hope you can find some solace or at least some relatability in what I have to say. I've been turned down many times. I have a job interview tomorrow. In fact, today's Thursday, the 30th of April, and tomorrow is the 1st of May. And I have a job interview in a town, the capital town of Jamaica, Kingston, which is a good drive away from where I live. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going there prepared to be told no. And that's just how it is. There's no in between. There's no, fairy tale mindset. Like, sure, I would hope to be told yes, but I'm also prepared to be told no, because I've experienced these things so many times that I know that this is what the 20-year-old experience is. This is what the I'm just starting experience is. You're going to be doing a lot of things and they just might not click. You're going to be trying a lot of things that should work and they just won't work. And my only hope for you is that you can have somebody in your corner that could guide you along this lost path that you're in. If you do have somebody like that, then keep them close and cherish them very, very, very much. In my case, I hope to find somebody like that as well. And I'm not saying I don't have people per se. I have my father, I have my mother, but they can't really think about it as deeply as I possibly can. They haven't been 20 in a very long time, over 20 years, right? Both of them have not been 20 for over 30 years. So they don't really know what it's like to be 20 anymore. And the world is completely different now. You get me? So hopefully this made some sense for you. If not, that's completely fine. I'm not trying to get millions of views off of these videos anyways. My hope that I'm not going to sit here and lie. I would love to. I would love to, but if it doesn't happen, it just doesn't happen. So yeah, that's it. Lost in your 20s. No real out, no real nothing. You just gotta keep your head down, keep going, keep pushing. Right here, right now, I am only making this video because I don't really want to do anything else. Right? I don't know what to do right now. And I told myself if I don't end up getting what I need to get from this interview tomorrow, I'll just probably call it quits for now and wait until school opens and they're ready for me then. And maybe I'll just keep pushing with the art thing that I got going on, which I don't really like much anymore. I don't feel much passion for it anymore because life is just so shit. But hopefully it changes soon. I pray to God it does. And yeah, I'm making this video in hopes that one day I win. You know what I'm saying? One day I hope that I'll win so much and I can just look back on this video and be like, man, I remember everything that was happening there. I remember everything that was going through there. And look where I'm at now. That's my hope, Or maybe even if I don't win to the levels that I hope to win, God forbid, but it's just life. I could at least show my children this and be like, dad was suffering too, kids. Dad was suffering too. But yeah, regardless, thank you for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. I'll let you guys know how tomorrow goes eventually. And yeah, I feel kind of comfortable doing these type of videos now. Before I was trying too heavily to make these I know the answer videos. And now I am just doing the good old fashioned I don't know the answer videos. I am acting my age. I am unaware. I don't know half the shit that's going on in my life right now. So that's where it is. Get you in the next one.